नमस्ते, गुड मर्निङ। नेपालमा यतिखेर इभिनिङ टाइम भइरहेछ र तपाईँहरूले आज एकदम राम्रो एउटा युनिभर्सिटी जुन टेक्सस, हामी नेपाली स्टुडेन्ट्स, साउथ एसियन स्टुडेन्ट्स टेक्सस भन्ने बित्तिकै एकदम मन पराउँछौँ। त्यस कारणले चाहिँ आज म तपाईँहरूलाई MSU, Midwestern State University, Texas, which is under TTU, Texas Tech University. I'm presenting you here today my guest, Mr. Seth Skelton, who is the Senior Assistant Director for MSU Texas. And we have a lovely guest here today, attending us today in this session, Miss Priya Maskoda, who is currently studying at MSU. And we're going to hear from her about her experience so far as international student and especially from Nepal. So I would like to welcome you guys. Welcome to this live event, Seth and Priya.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome.
So before I want to hear from Said, I would like to hear from Priya. What's your first message and the best message or advice to our students who are thinking about studying in the U.S. and are also talking about the universities, their options in Texas, and especially at Midwestern State University. That is where you're currently studying at. So Priya, if you could say something about that.
Sure. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to, share my experience and then like what I think about my current studying at MSU Texas to all my fellow Nepalese students who are planning to come to US and planning to come to MSU Texas. And starting with, I would like to say that studying in USA is like kind of dream or like, kind of passion and then like people usually have back there in Nepal and in I mean like I think people of world people in the world from any other country would have that as well. So particularly talking about MSU, I came here as a transfer student. I was like before study, I initially came to Saginaw Valley State University from like Nepal in 2016, and then I was transferred to the one of the Dallas County Community College, and then I was planning to do the nursing major, and then I was looking around the different schools. Like I applied to several schools. Like I applied to UT, which was in Dallas, Texas. I applied to like ECU, Oklahoma, and then I even applied to MSU, even A&M Commerce, and everywhere. But the first thing that made me choose MSU, I'm a person who always I'm like extrovert. I like to share, and then I like to listen as well. So for me, the first ever thing that attracted towards MSU was the communication. Like I was the student who would email Seth or anybody else in GU office like so many times regarding so many questions, and they would answer it like instantly. I would say like because like I would not hear email like instant email reply from other universities like they do, and then they were super helpful like on any of my questions, even though I would make silly questions. Over here it's like no question is like silly question or no question is bad question. So if you have a question you always gotta ask to get a good answer or whatever is there. So the first thing was the communication I had, and another thing was being an international student. That is a bitter truth. I have to say that I have to look over finance as well about like fee structure and everything, the scholarship and all. So MSU had the winning scholarship for me from among all the universities I applied. So it
Mhm.
might be a different cases for different students. So I would say that they have so good at scholarship, but it depends on your GPA, your whatever the things, the quality you have. I would say like your GPA and all. And over here there was a best scholarship for me. The amount was so good, and then another thing that attracted to me was like it was near to Dallas. It's just 2 hours from Dallas. I can drive anytime I need to. And the campus environment is so good. Like we have even opened a Nepalese Student Association over here, so you know about it. And then it's like we are like so much familiar with it. Like MSU, like how the university is, how the people are, how what kind of support we get, and everything, and the structure and all, and even the like for nursing majors, it's so far so good. It's like the course is hard in itself, but we are like MSU is giving us good opportunities to flourish.
Mhm.
So
Great.
if questions, please go ahead. I would like to answer that because, like, if I go on speaking, it's gonna be long and long.
Oh yeah, thank you. That is a wonderful experience so far that you have been, sharing with us, and it's absolutely our pleasure to hear all this, good things about being an international student, and especially being from Nepal, like yourself at MSU. This really gives us confidence, in helping more students in the future as well. So, dear viewers, the prospective students, and the parents, please feel free to ask any questions here. Priya is here today, and she's gonna be here for a few more minutes here. And I
Mhm.
know she's attending the class and busy, but I thought she would be sharing some of the things about MSU, and hope you heard from her. Priya, what do you think? Like, Nepali students can afford it, the tuition and the living, how is living like? And like you said, it's not that far from Dallas, the one of the biggest city, largest city in the United States, and everybody loves Texas, especially from Nepal. And the fee structure, the campus settings, everything. So, can you mention a little bit on that, and your message in Nepali to incoming students, and their families at the inn? So that would be helpful for you, for us.
So first of all, I would like to clear everybody that if any of you who are listening to me right now, like Nepalese students, parents, or anybody else who is listening to me from Nepal, I would be more than happy to answer all your questions. It might be delayed response because I'm a nursing student, so I had 12 hour shift yesterday, and I'm going to give my exam today. So I cannot explain how tired I was, and then I was still
I
studying.
appreciate your time. Mhm.
So it's I'm more than happy to answer all your questions regarding fees and all, like everything you want to know about MSU. Time it might be sooner or later. I can do that. So starting up, I would say the fee structure might be a little bit different for me as in like transfer student and staying in Texas for more than 2 to 3 years. So, but it's for sure affordable, I would say. And then I'm not leaving on campus because like I think for all the Nepalese students, they love Nepali food, and on campus we have to get the meal plan.
Mhm.
Maybe everybody is not comfortable with the meal plan because I am a person who doesn't like to have meat. Like I'm like vegetarian, and then like campus they have the meat and stuff, and that's completely fine to try them. But I would say every day that's gonna be hard for me to adjust with that food, and that made me stay off campus. And I am living in an apartment nearby MSU, which is like I would say 4 or 5 minutes drive, and if I walk, it's like 15 minutes. So it's like completely affordable, I would say. Like if you want to live on the campus as well, that's pretty good. That's not so much expensive like all the campuses I have known so far. And
Mhm.
then if you want to stay off campus, renting an apartment with a roommate and all, that's completely fine as well, and that's completely affordable, I would say. And another thing I would not forget to mention is the on-campus job opportunities MSU has, because like we are like so many Nepalese students, and we are almost like a lot of them working on campus. Like working as a nursing tutor at Student Support Center, and then there I know people who are working at Chick-fil-A, working at Moffat Library as librarian, another tutors, working in the gym. So first of all, you might not like know a lot of things coming here in the first semester because like you need to know like figure out so many stuff. But I would say after you stay over here for a semester and make a good connection with different people, even like we get emails from Seth and Michael and so many other GU officers saying that okay, there is a job opportunities for international student. You even don't have to go to college and like ask everybody about like going to. I have done that before when I was a freshman at some other universities, like
Okay.
going to the cafeteria and asking, are you guys hiring and all. And I never got any email from my advisors or like they're so supportive and they understand us so well that they send us email saying that okay, there is a job opportunity for like international student, you can do this, you can do that. And then that's pretty much easy, I would say. Like in on campus job is like I cannot assure you that depends upon you as well, but if you want to and if you look for, you can for sure get it. And the fee structure is affordable, and scholarship amount are so much. And like the officers like of the international like offices are super helpful.
Great. Yeah, like your stories tells a lot to all of us, and are definitely helpful to our incoming students and their families, because like yourself, maybe like your parents, at first were worried about like where you're going to and how you do it, but like you are saying that confidence to all the new students who are planning to study at MSU. So this is a great experience, and we're glad that you are growing through all this and you're getting there. Thanks, Pia, for all this, and we appreciate your time and wonderful, experience that you have shared with us today. Sid, you want to ask anything to Miss Priya?
I, I, I first off thank you for the kind words. It's really helpful to hear your experience at other universities and then kind of what your experience has been like here at MSU. Um, and I'm glad that you found our office to be supportive and responsive. And yes, we know that traveling, around the U.S. or traveling around the world to a new country, to a different school, can be challenging. And we want to make sure that you feel supported and knowledgeable about the process. And do you feel like uh, communication was clear? Were we transparent about with your tuition and what uh, life was going to be like here on campus at Midwestern State?
Uh, I would say it was like clear enough for me to like, everybody has different level of understanding. I would say like different level of expectation. I would say and experience everybody would have. I might have this good experience. Somebody else might have. They might say that that's not good as yours. You know. But for me, it was clear enough to understand about like what would be my pay structure, how much will I be paid, and what would be my scholarship amount, how long will my scholarship last. I used to ask questions as well. That's why I would say don't hesitate to ask questions to all my, to all the Nepalese students who are listening to me right now. I would like to say don't hesitate to ask the question. You have to
Mhm.
ask the question to clear your confusions and stuff. So I always ask like how long will be the scholarship, and then what will be the GPA requirement to maintain the scholarship, and then what are the opportunities to get job on campus, and then different many things I used to ask about it, and I found it helpful and clear enough for me regarding all those things you mentioned. I was like a little bit confused on that bank thing, like bank statement we have to notarize back in Nepal, and then like those things was a little bit confusing to me, and I had to do it when it was locked down back there in Nepal.
Mm,
And then I was like, okay. And once my parents they did it and sent it to me, and I even sent it. But later on, it was said that okay, you have to fill out just because of one tick mark. There was supposed to be amount, and I did a tick mark, and then they said you have to do it again. I was like, it's locked down back there. How can I do it? Because like you know, and but I managed it somehow. Like my parents were able to do it out of the huge struggle they had, and then apart from that, I did not have any like confusion or issues. I would say everything else that was more important was clear to me.
good, good. I do want to say that we have heard that feedback from students about how difficult the notarization requirement is. To get a notary in other countries is different than getting a notary here in the US.
Yes.
And so our designated school official team, the DSO team, is now offering kind of a different way to do that, or an option not to go through the notary process. But last year that was not the case. It was required. But now we're changing that requirement because we've heard from students how difficult that was, and we don't want that to be a barrier. So thank you for sharing that, and we're certainly trying to make it a little easier for students to come in and receive their I-20, that immigration requirement. The last thing I was just going to ask was, what do you think about the instructors in the nursing program? Because there's so much demand. It's something I'm going to talk about with incoming students. What has your experience been like in Centennial Hall? I think it's just a beautiful building. It's all brand new. What has that been like for you?
Okay, to start up, I would say to all the people who are seeking for a nursing degree, I would say get ready for all the sleepless nights. You know, That's like, it's not because of you or our instructor, but that's because the course is hard in itself. If a person is going to be a software engineer, a programmer, or like, business person, he or she might spoil a program. But if a nurse become bad, she'll spoil somebody's life. That's the main thing we have to understand
That's good.
before going to a nursing degree. So it's for sure strict like all other schools are. There is no difference between any other university and MSU in regard of like, the level of the courses we have, and the level of knowledge, and things we have been developing on ourselves, that is not different than any other university. And so far, talking about the Centennial building, it's so beautiful. It's new building, and
Mhm.
I really love the environment around that building. And talking about the MSU courses and the professors are really nice. They are, it's more like nursing is already like self study, like professor cannot teach you everything, you have to study on yourself.
Mhm.
That's the thing. So professors are so good, and the program is so nice, and it's for sure strict, because I already mentioned that we are like taking care of somebody's life. So we cannot, MSU or any other university or any other professor cannot risk it. So we have strict rules of getting at least 74 average in all the exams to pass the course, and all professors are supportive. They always encourage us. If you are planning for like nursing program for undergrad, you will never hear a nursing student saying that, or a professor saying that you cannot do it. Everybody will say you can do it, because that is the only key that motivates you to handle all this stress. It's
Great.
stressful, but it's really a good experience. Like whenever you get to go to clinicals, and like the resources are there as well. Like for a nursing student, there are nursing tutors, and then you can go to visit your professor anytime. They have office hours, as well as you can
Mhm.
schedule the meetings and all. And the clinical experience is so good. We get to go to good hospitals around to have good clinical experience, and our professors are so careful about us, worried about us. After each clinicals, they come to us individually and ask, "How was your experience? Was your preceptor good? Like the nurse who you were with today, did she like let you do stuff? Because there are preceptors who don't let us do stuff. And once we say share our experience, our professor is always like, if it's positive, she keeps it. If it's negative, then she always say, okay, I'm not gonna put this nurse as a preceptor to any other student. So
Great.
I think getting that one-to-one connection with each student is hard, but still MSc professors are trying it.
Great. Priya, sorry, Said. I wanted to ask you, like, what background were you from? Like, you had PCL nursing or biology before you came to the United States, or if you don't mind, you can share about that because.
Yeah, I can share it to you, but it might sound so funny to everybody listening to me right now, because I was a student who was doing like business and banking back home. My high school
Mm,
was on computer science, business, and banking.
oh,
But uh, I mean, like, I don't know. I think that's called destiny. I would
mm,
say at the moment, because like I even don't know why I choose business and banking and like computer science and all back home. But I now think that, okay, if a person is standing in front of me talking about business and banking and those of stuff, he or she cannot fool me, because I have a little bit knowledge about it. And I'm glad that I choose that. I have both, like, like I don't have a lot of knowledge about like banking and business because I only did it at high school, but I still have a, like, background base of it, so that I can understand stuff on that. And I don't know, but I was like always interested toward a health field, like health sciences and all. So that made me choose nursing over here. And that might be surprising to a lot of you hearing me saying that
yeah,
I was a like management student back home and doing nursing
right.
over here, but that's doable.
Right. Like you said, though you came from different background, but it is doable. That means, it's a good message. Like, somebody who figure out, like, after coming to the United States and, seeing the opportunities here, like, or growing more interest in different field, they can switch to. So you have, I think, got that opportunities, and then, I think moving towards it. And we feel great about what you've been doing, and we wish you good luck. And thank you for your time today. And
Hmm.
we would love to be in touch with you. And
Yeah.
yeah, so out of 10, so what is your, like, recommendation to MSU, to our future students? Let's be honest here.
Okay, so being honest, being an MSc scholar, being honest and being a Nepalese student and trying to help other Nepalese student,
Hmm.
MSU is one of the best colleges that is giving good scholarship, good fees, that is affordable.
Hmm.
I think we look. I mean, like I am a person who look finance first.
Hmm.
Because if I cannot pay fee, I cannot get whatever the good education is.
Hmm.
Because like the rules are so strict over here in United States. It's not like okay, they might consider some,
Hmm.
but it's not like considerable always. So it depends on your major as well. It depends on your preference as well. There are people who want to go to Harvard University, and there are people who want to go to UTA. So if they are studying over there, they will for sure have their good thing and bad thing. Like I already explained, like I had a little bit like dissatisfaction and confusion regarding that and notarizing that bank document. But since it's already cleared up, I am more than happy for like upcoming freshman students regarding that, because that was a big hassle for me. Everything else was so good for me. Like communication was good, scholarship was good, my fee is good. That is affordable by myself.
Hmm.
That's not a problem for me. And then nursing program is good. Officers are like of our international officers are so good, they are so supportive. And I would say campus environment is good. Jobs are available on campus.
That's the
So
main
what
thing.
else are the
Right.
things you are looking for? That's the thing. That's the thing that matters. If somebody would say me, "What about this particular thing you think?" I would be more than like it would be more easier for me to explain. But as a whole, being an MSc scholar and getting all these facilities and opportunities, I would say I love MSU.
All right. Okay. So you are giving the best rating to MSU, and
Yes,
because
and another news I would like to share is MSU under TTU system now, which is one of the good news for us.
Mhm.
That is making it more happier to all of us as well, because like being on the TTU system is really good.
Exactly. I could not be agreed more with you. Thank you, Priya, and it's definitely going to help us all. Like I've been, expecting a lot of good information from MSU International Students Center. Like said, he's here today, and New Year's. I hope Priya has been very good resource for you guys if you're planning to study in Texas and especially think about MSU, Midwestern State University. And yeah, her experience so far like speaks a lot, and we definitely be happy to help you all in regards to application process and even after coming here at the university. So please feel free to connect with us at Bradford Global, and we'll take you from there. All right, and we still have time to apply for January intake, and we would be helping you through the visa interview process as well. That means preparing you in every steps. Priya, any last word, or I should say,
Okay, so before I leave, do Seth has any question on me, or do you have any question on me, or like any
mhm.
students want to pull up some questions? I would be more than happy to answer that. Like 5 7 minutes I can give.
Right. We appreciate that, but we don't see that questions being asked here yet. Uh, but definitely, to direct them to you through your email or whatever means of communication you would like them to connect with you later on as well. And thank you for the support. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, anyone can email me or like text me on my Facebook Messenger anywhere. You
Mhm.
can find me Priya Vascoda. If you search it, you will find it. But I would say I'm a nursing student, so I may not be so instant in replying you or like checking. I even told like Pawan sir to text me on my personal cell phone
Oh yeah,
number, because I have all the social media notification turned off because of my like distraction and stuff. So I told him to text me on my
you're
phone.
our star, and we'd love to help many of your friends and even family. I know
Hmm.
your brother is now up trying for US, and he is a good student already. And yeah, he's thinking about coming to MSU itself.
Hmm.
So yeah, we'd love to assist him and many other friends. All right. Thank you,
Sure.
Priya. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
go
Thank
ahead.
you, everybody. Bye. I have exam
All right.
today.
Bye. Thank you so much for your valuable
Mhm.
time and good luck to your exams. All right.
Thank you. Mhm.
Okay. Bye bye. There you go. So that was it about MSU. So we still have presentation, some more stuff to talk about through your site, State, and it was lovely experience that was said by our student Miss Priya Baskuta, and she is already like referring more friends for her, and even her own brother to MSU. That means she's highly satisfied, and we want that sort of experience, or that sort of like recommendation from our students. All right. So, state, we already like got their session like for 25 minutes now, and it was very unique, like someone from the university who is currently studying as international student, like sharing their experience, her experience, and then now your turn, I guess. We'd love to hear from you, Seth. More on the other sides, let's say, additionally to PS.
Of course, and thank you, Pawan. And that was a wonderful perspective that Priya was able to share. Really appreciate that. So I'm going to share a little bit of information. I'll just say real quickly again, my name is Seth Skelton. I work in the Global Education Office. My job is to recruit and support international students. I just wanted to say we want international students at MSU Texas. Our number one class, or our last class, the number one nationality of students this past fall was from Nepal. So it's growing quickly. I think we're finding a nice community of students, and so it's really easy to find a support system, not only within the university and the Global Education Office, but amongst your fellow students around. And so the creation of the Nepalese Student Association has been really wonderful to see as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about just Texas real briefly, about our university. I'll go into some academics, and then a little bit of tuition, application stuff, and answer any questions. I'll try to be really fast. There's a lot of information. I think we probably went just a little bit longer, but Priya's perspective is so important. So if you want to stop me at any point and say, let's ask questions, I can do that.
Yeah, dear viewers, like while Seth is giving the presentation, I talk about Texas and everything that he just said, like about coming to MSU and their programs, getting into the entry requirements, and so many things. You could hear from our special guest and my very good friend, Mr. Seth Skelton, who is the senior assistant director at the university. And yeah, he is very friendly to everybody of us, to all the new students as well. So just like have some information now, and you may feel comfortable about applying. You're applying for MSU this January itself, or next one in fall. And yeah, like have your questions here anytime. All right. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, I am going to share
Sure.
my screen. Let's see.
I'll wait for you here.
Okay, great.
I got it. There you go.
Okay. Okay, so just wanted to give a brief overview of Texas. Welcome to Texas. Texas is a very diverse state in terms of its people, geography, population centers. We have very large cities with millions of people, and Priya mentioned that we're close to Dallas. Here's a picture of the Dallas skyline. It's the closest major city to our campus. A really nice place. Here's Austin, Texas. This is 6th Street. This is a real fun place. A lot of students like to travel once they get here. And so we're not a huge city of millions of people. We are more of a middle-sized city, but we're close to a big city. So we're not a small town. There's a lot of farms and ranches, out in the countryside. We're kind of in between the big cities and the small towns. So a really nice-sized city, if you ask me. Here's a picture of some bluebonnets. In the spring and summertime, you'll see the state flower of Texas all over, just blooming as you drive through. Here's a picture of Santa Elena Canyon. This is in Big Bend National Park. So in Texas, we have coastlines, we have deserts, we have mountains, we have prairies and plains and tall forests as well. So a lot to explore. Many people. One of the most populated states in the U.S. And really, we have the highest concentration of Nepalese nationals in the entire U.S., so Texas, and the second highest concentration of Indian nationals. So in Dallas, there's a lot of restaurants and grocery stores that will have food and cultural centers, and we're starting to bring some of that up here to Wichita Falls as well. And so, we don't want you to feel too far away from home. We want you to feel welcome here, and I think Texas is a great place for students wanting to study from Nepal. We have a booming high-tech manufacturing sector. Overall, our economy in Texas is doing wonderful. So there is a lot of business and finance jobs. Computer science majors are finding excellent job opportunities afterward. The healthcare system here, like Priya was a nursing student. In other parts of the world, healthcare, if you're not a doctor, healthcare may not be the best field to go into. But here, hospitals, rehabilitation facilities, there's many wonderful job opportunities. Companies like SpaceX, Tesla, Amazon, Google, Dell, a lot of these started out in California on the West Coast, maybe in Seattle, Washington, and they're expanding to Texas. They're opening up manufacturing facilities and corporate headquarters in the state of Texas because it's a very nice climate, it's warm, and it's more affordable than other places in the U.S. So there's a low cost of living. Priya mentioned that tuition is lower here. Well, so is the cost of living. To rent an apartment around campus is much more affordable than to rent an apartment in San Francisco or anywhere in California. Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, and Austin are the largest metro areas. And our city, Wichita Falls, where the MSU Texas campus is located, is really undergoing an incredible revitalization. It's really exciting to see what's happening in our downtown and the growth and the renovation of historic buildings and just a lot of excitement. So I'll show you a map of the United States right here. And then here is the state of Texas in the south central part of our country. And then here is a map of Texas. So you'll see Wichita Falls up here. We're in the northern part of the state. And then here's Dallas and Fort Worth. This is a pretty nice, easy drive, direct shot on the highway here. And then Austin and San Antonio are down here in the central part of the state. And then Houston is in the southeastern corner. So this is really where a lot of the population growth is. A lot of job growth, job opportunities, and they call that the Golden Triangle. We're right outside of the Golden Triangle, so that keeps us more affordable, but there's a lot of opportunity to travel very easily to these large population centers, these large cities, and so for entertainment and for job opportunities after graduation. So here's a picture of Hardin Tower. This is one of our oldest buildings on campus. And again, we're known as MSU Texas or Midwestern State University. We were founded in 1922 and we joined the Texas Tech University system or the TTU system last month. So we're really excited about that. And just this week, a $44 million infrastructure investment announcement was made into the Bolin Science Hall and amongst other renovations going on. But that's the main one. $44 million was just announced. And so we're already seeing the benefits of joining the Texas Tech University system. So there's going to be these continued investments to improve the academic experience and just overall the campus experience as well. So we're not a huge university, though. We have around 6,000 students on campus, but we've been around for a while, almost 100 years. We'll be celebrating our 100-year anniversary next year. We have 7 different academic colleges total. We have a graduate school as well. But I'm going to talk about kind of the colleges that are the largest and most popular with international students. That's the College of Health Sciences and Human Services. That's where Priya is studying nursing. Our Mccoy College of Science, Math, and Engineering. So you'll find mechanical engineering, geosciences, computer science there. And then the Diller College of Business Administration. That one's growing very quickly, especially at the graduate school level, the MBA program. I'll talk more about that in a moment. But finance, accounting, business are all studied in the College of Business Administration. We know how in demand those jobs are. So briefly, I want to talk about our international student organizations. The largest organization on campus is the Caribbean Student Organization, but the Indian Student Association was restarted in fall of 2020. The African Student Organization is now active, and the newest international student organization and the most rapidly growing is the Nepalese Student Association. So we're just thrilled about that. And what we do in the Global Education Office is act as advisors to those student organizations, make sure that they are able to meet and that they have the resources they need to be active and support each other. So it's really exciting to see, kind of post-COVID here in the U.S., these social organizations getting started again, the athletic events, all in-person classes. Last year at this time, everything was online. Nothing was happening as far as student organizations. So it was very quiet. It was hard for students to connect with each other. Now it's a totally different world. Vaccines are widely available. And so we're kind of back to pretty much normal in-person classes, and so it's something really to look forward to. So I want to show some pictures. This is Centennial Hall. This is the newest building on campus. This is where our nursing students, our radiology, respiratory care, dental hygiene students will study. Again, in the U.S., healthcare is a really growing industry with high-paying jobs, and there's a large demand for students that have the skills necessary to perform in a professional setting. And so we have a partnership with a company called Shimadzu. They are a radiology company out of Japan, and they provide the radiology equipment that our students study with and practice on. They sponsor the Shimadzu School of Radiology. And so really, we've been known as a national leader in radiology. Our nursing program has rapidly expanded. It's a demanding program, but like Priya mentioned, people's lives are in your hands. So it's really important for you to excel as a nurse. But the good news is, after graduation, we have these healthcare companies, these hospitals coming to our campus to recruit our nursing students. They want Priya to come and work for them, and they will sponsor her and her classmates for employment-based visas, perhaps an H-1B, perhaps an EB-2 or an EB-3. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but if you want to stay in the U.S. and continue working and have a life, then there are pathways to do this, and this is one of them right here, the nursing program.
Great.
Okay, so the Diller College of Business Administration. We have a real international focus here. We have the highest level of business school accreditation in the world. It's called AACSB International Accreditation. 5% of business schools in the entire world have this level of accreditation, and only 25% of business schools in the U.S. have this level of accreditation. We have an international business concentration for economics majors, and we even have a study abroad program in London every summer that we really encourage students to join. So one of our international students from Bangladesh is going to London in the summer, so we're really excited for him. So the MBA program is really where we're seeing a lot of growth. We just launched a business analytics concentration. So we are working to have that classified as a STEM program. So it'll really blend science, technology, engineering, and math is what a STEM is. And this program, the business analytics, is a combination of business and technology. And so graduates from this program are going to be really well equipped for a professional career. There are going to be local job opportunities, but also all over the state of Texas, especially Dallas, and in the rest of the country, if students want to leave and continue to expand their perspective and travel a little bit more. Okay, Next, our Mccoy College of Science, Math, and Engineering. These are some students from the Caribbean. I mentioned they're one of our largest international student groups. They are being recognized for their work as mechanical engineers. So we really appreciate international students. We have seen how talented and motivated they are. They score really well in their classes, and really just bring a different culture and perspective that our campus wants to have. So diversity is appreciated and celebrated here at MSU Texas. Students in the Mccoy College will study computer science, cybersecurity, mechanical engineering, geosciences, industrial technology, mathematics, biology, chemistry. If students want to be a doctor, they can major in pre-medicine here and then go on to Texas Tech University and go to medical school. So we'll have kind of, again, this pipeline where students can come here for part of their undergraduate degree or all of their undergraduate degree and then go on to Texas Tech University for those professional programs. Computer science, the students graduating at the undergrad and graduate school level are really excelling in their professional career. I've just heard so many good things and really proud of the accomplishments that our graduates are experiencing in the professional setting. Okay, so our College of Education, those who are wanting to go into counseling, school administration, or be teachers themselves, great program. And then we have a College of Humanities and Social Sciences as well. I want to talk about our master's programs real briefly. The master's in computer science has really exploded. This upcoming spring semester, we have more computer science applications than probably the last 5 or 10 years. I've been here almost 2 years. And we're blowing away computer science applications since I've been here, and maybe even since before that. The level of interest to now study in the U.S. has dramatically increased from what I've seen. Other countries like Australia that were really popular with international students have basically sealed their borders. Well, the U.S. is welcoming these students, and MSU Texas, I think, is a fantastic landing spot for international students, especially at the graduate school level. And I'm going to talk about one other program in a minute, but we are currently waiving the GRE requirement. But if a student wants to submit a GRE test, that can certainly improve the strengthen their application. And kind of these are the scores that we'd be looking at. We do have scholarships available. One thing I'm really proud of is our partnership with NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a US-based technology company, and they have a graphics processing unit education center where students are going to get some really, learn some really great skills in high-performance computing. And so these partnerships with private industries really help to prepare students for the latest technology. High-tech industry changes constantly, the market changes, so we want our students to be prepared for the latest trends in technology. So computational science, modeling and simulation, computer graphics and visualization, computer and network security, gaming and cell phones. This is where our world is headed, to technology. We're talking today from different parts of the globe because of these great advances in technology. And the master's in computer science is really going to prepare students for what they need to be successful. You see here the job opportunities in database management, software engineering, web development, design interface. And Dr. Nelson Passos is our graduate program coordinator. He is a former F1 visa student himself. He came from Brazil in South America. So he has a great understanding of what international students go through to get here, and has just been a real, a great support for those students. And then I have contact information from a recent graduate, Srinivas. He is from India, and he has a really interesting perspective as well, just like Priya. It's so great to have current and former students talk to potential students about, how to be successful as a MSU Texas student. Okay, so the Master's in Business Administration, MBA. We have different concentrations. So you can be a general MBA student, or you can get a concentration in accounting, energy management, or business analytics. We were ranked as the second most affordable MBA program in the state of Texas. So if you want a combination of high accreditation, high academic standards with affordability, then MSU Texas will be a great fit. You can go to other universities, University of Texas. They're going to be a great school, but you're going to pay 2 or 3 times the amount of tuition that you pay here at MSU Texas. And you're going to have, basically the same degree. An employer doesn't hire only University of Texas graduates. They need MSU Texas graduates as well. There's so many job opportunities right now that they are ready to go. They are hiring and they are sponsoring graduates for these longer term employment-based visas in computer science, MBA, health sciences, mechanical engineering. The sky is the limit, as we say here in the U.S. So these graduate assistantship opportunities will help to reduce expenses as well. $8,000 stipend, that will cover basically all of the tuition expenses for a full year. Okay, so the business analytics concentration is going to help students learn how to use multiple statistical tools to gather, analyze, and forecast future business trends. Management information systems is a part of the required core classes. So I think I mentioned it earlier, but that combination of business savvy and technology is really the focus of the business analytics program. And you don't have to have a business background to be admitted. Just like Priya did not study biology in high school, she studied business, but now is going into healthcare. And so that's the thing with the U.S. is you have the ability to study different majors or different study areas, and you don't have to just learn one type of education. You can really be a well-rounded student. And it happens a lot where we have students who maybe had an engineering background, then go into business school. And so that they can learn the business side of their engineering company. So you want to know the technical side and the business side. And we really like the flexibility here. Our MBA students can study online in their home country and then come here in person. And if they needed to go back home, they could switch back to online classes and continue their studies.
Seth, sorry to interrupt you. Like you see, there's a question popped up on the screen. So I think I lost your presentation.
I'll just stop screen sharing, but I can put it back up.
Oh yeah, please. We got a question here by Casey Deepa. Thanks, Deepa. So do you accept the students with 3 years bachelor degree? Typically you get the application from India and some disciplines from Nepal as well, some programs. They are of 3 years. So how do you take that?
Okay, great question. Yes, we can accept a 3 years bachelor degree, but we need really about closer to 120 credit hours. So the 3-year degree, is acceptable, but it depends on how many credit hours a student has. I've seen some. I would say there's a little bit of inconsistency because the graduate school admissions office wants to put more challenging admissions standards out there to say 120, but I've seen the program coordinators who actually run the program say, you know what, come on in, we'll make an exception for you. So I can't make any guarantees, but I would say submit an application, and we have a very high acceptance rate. Right now, there is a strong motivation to grow our university, and international students are a big part of that. We want to grow. We just joined Texas Tech University, so we're really excited about our future, and we want to be an international hub in Texas where students come from all over and see, wow, there's a real international community here. So it's a tough question to to answer because there's some inconsistency. But yes, I have seen students with a 3-year degree be admitted.
Right, and on additional, additionally, I would add like see, like it depends which disciplines you're from. If it is like a business or like healthcare or engineering, IT, any other discipline. So, like I said, just like said about the minimum requirement, that must be equivalent to the U.S. bachelor's degree, like which is of 120 credits equivalent. So, for that to know, we need to go through some evaluation process. So once we submit the application, once you submit the application into the university system, then they will let you know, like which steps to follow. So basically, the WES accredited agencies like SpanTran will be helpful to evaluate the total credits you have taken, or let's say completed, according to US version, US bachelor's, I would say. And then they would consider into your desired graduate programs. So this is the process in in most of the universities I know. So just send in your application. And dear viewers, this could be the information for all of you if you have got 3 years bachelor's degree. But yeah, Seth and his team at MSU Texas would be happy to guide you through the process, right? And we at Bradford would be happy to guide you through all these steps. Thank you, Seth. Thanks, Deepa, for that question. That was a wonderful question.
Yeah. And the partnership between Bradford Global and the Global Education Office is really important. So we appreciate you guys working with Bradford Global and then then working with us. So we want to make sure it's a smooth process for you. I'm just going to talk about the English proficiency requirements. We're hoping in the future to offer English language classes again. We did that in the past, but because of COVID, we had to suspend those. So we're hoping to get those going again, maybe in the summer or fall of 2022. But of course, we'll accept English proficiency tests such as TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo. That's been a really popular one. I see a lot of Duolingo scores now, whereas a year ago we didn't see any. So we accept PTE and ITEP. You can see the score requirements there. So a 6.0 on IELTS, 100 on Duolingo. I've seen a lot of people do well with Duolingo. It's completely online.
Great. Regarding that, I got a question here popped up by Vivek Bastola. Thanks, Vivek. So is Duolingo widely accepted for masters?
Yeah, I think so, especially here. We accept it, and it's been a really great alternative because when the in-person TOEFL and IELTS testing sites closed down, Duolingo was another option. And so, yeah, we accept it. Just need to score a 100, and that will meet the admission requirements.
If you could go back to the like previous slide, Seth. Yeah, right here. Yeah, Vivek, yeah, thanks for your question. Yeah, this is to confirm, said just like confirm too. 6.0 in IELTS are equivalent in other tests like PTE, 53 overall, or 79 TOEFL IBT, or you have this Duolingo 100. That is the minimum score that you need to get into the masters at MSU Texas. All right. So for Nepalese students, I would say, or even for Indian, South Asian students, including India, I do not find it is tough to score, for anybody to, hit 100 is I think like the average score. So I think MSc is very flexible on that, and then even a 6 in IELTS, that's even average that our Nepalese and South Asian students would score mostly. So please go for it. And thanks to pandemic, at least we have this Duolingo accepted by MSU and many other universities here. So until this opportunity is here, so please feel free to apply for your desired programs at masters or for other students. If it is undergrad, please go for it. Thanks, Seth, for giving me this chance to spend some time here.
Well, what if I'll just try to give you guys an idea of the process. So for one, you mentioned the transcript evaluation, and yes, students going into graduate school need to have their undergraduate coursework evaluated by a third party. So they evaluate and then they'll verify your documents. And so we're trying to make that as easy as possible for fall of 2022. For spring, it's going to be a challenge perhaps to get that done, but for fall, we'll certainly have time to go through all of that. But the evaluation will convert your grade point average from, like the system in Nepal or India, wherever you may be, to a US-based grade point average. So we're on a 4.0 scale. And so one thing I want to say is, about a 2.0 out of a 4.0 would be the minimum that you could be admitted into the graduate school. The MBA program can be a little bit higher requirement, but if you scored well on the GRE, then that can help you to get in. But you don't have to have the GRE. Again, that can make your application a little stronger. So it just kind of depends. Our graduate program coordinators are taking a real holistic view of your application. So they look at everything. They don't just look at one grade point average. They want to see, well, how did that person do in a business class or a finance or accounting class at the undergraduate level? Maybe this other class didn't score so well, but did they score well in these math and finance classes? And if you score well there, then you're going to have a good shot. Maybe you've had some professional experience in the business world, and you want to get into the MBA program. Well, they will take that into account as well. And then again, the GRE is not required, but that can help strengthen. I would say in computer science, if you've taken any computer science courses at the undergraduate level, that will help to strengthen your application. And so even if your overall cumulative GPA isn't at the very top, as long as you scored well in math or computer science classes and your GPA overall is a 2.0 or higher, then I think you've got a really good shot at getting admitted. So it's a case-by-case basis. I can't make any guarantees. The graduate program coordinator of your specific program will evaluate your application and make a decision.
Great. As you see on the screen, we got another one from Mandeep Krisser. Thanks, Mandeep. So he has follow-up question as well. So he got 4-year bachelor's degree in science with 52.50%. And Duolingo 120, which is great. So is he eligible for master's in business analytics?
Yeah, so I want to say, so that's 52.5. That would be out of 100, right? And so trying to give a rough guess, that would be, maybe a little over a 2.0 on a 4.0 scale. You can definitely apply. I cannot guarantee admission because I haven't seen any transcripts, and it has to go through the whole evaluation process. But definitely eligible to apply. I can tell you that we have a pretty high acceptance rate. Out of 40, 45 applications that have been completed for the spring semester at the graduate school level, I want to say I've seen maybe 2 students denied admission. So there's a really good chance that if you meet the application requirements, you go through the transcript evaluation, you submit an English proficiency score, you have a 4-year degree that is equivalent to a US bachelor's degree, then you're going to be admitted. It's very rare that students are denied admission if they can submit a full application that just meets these basic requirements. So I think you have a very good shot.
Exactly. Thanks, Said. Yeah, Vivek, like Said just explained, see, my guess is also the same. You have 4 years bachelor degree, and 52%. That means, that falls under their criteria. And Duolingo, there is no issue. I won't see an issue because 100 is the minimum. You got 120. So again, you might need to go through the evaluation process. Said and his office would give you the guidance about that. but yeah, why don't you give you a shot? And Seth just explained, he got you know all the most of the applications, the high acceptance rate, I would say, out of 45, only two denied. So 43 in, that means you have chances. So by the way, Said, I wanted to ask, maybe you're going to talk about that too. How about the assistantship? I saw like assistantship availability in previous slides. So do they get chance to get into that before they get in the university, or how is it provided, like?
Yeah, great question. So after you've gone through the application process and you've been admitted, you'll be able to speak with the graduate program coordinator about the graduate assistantship positions that are available. And so, of course, having previous work experience is a benefit, having good grades is a benefit, but really they want to see somebody who's motivated and organized and willing to help. So you'd be working at a job about up to 20 hours on campus, and you would earn an $8,000 stipend if you work full-time. And they do have part-time positions that you would earn $4,000 per year. So after admission, you talk with the program coordinator about your qualifications, your desire to have one of these jobs. And once they interview you and you're awarded the position, then that money can be used to reduce your estimated cost of attendance. So that means instead of showing $20,000 in your bank account, you only need to show $12,000 in your bank account. So it's a much easier to get your I-20 at that point.
Mhm. So the assistantship would be offered even before they get into the campus, right?
Yes, they can conduct interviews via Zoom.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. That's great opportunity. So that way it looks like, students are going to get one of these, because you have fewer application at the moment, and then students with the GPA that we just explained, and then like Vivek's follow-up question here about his additional test, the GRE of 300 and 2 years of work experience, you could be eligible. So we can't guarantee, like said, just mention to you also, but why don't you start applying, so the faculty of your department would be reaching out to you and have some interviews if they think you could be one eligible candidate. So please let us know at Bradford. We'd be happy to process your application for MSU Texas. All right, thanks Vivek for your follow-up questions. That was great questions here. And so while we are go ahead, please. I will let you do more presentation, because I thought I just pull up. I should pull up the questions here related to what you were talking about on the slides. So, dear viewers, please keep shooting more questions here. I'll be pulling up as relevant while Seth will be doing the presentation here. Over to you, Seth.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, so I'll just want to show you guys a couple of pictures of our campus. This is Legacy Hall. This is one of the newest residential halls on campus. And we have many different options. So we have some that are very affordable, and there's a big discount as a first-year international student at MSU Texas if you live in Pierce or Killingsworth Hall. So, but if you want to spend more money, then you can, and you can live in some really nice apartments, have your own room, all of these things, your own kitchen, but it will cost a little bit more money. So you have options. If you want to go really affordable, we have that and a great discount if you stay in Pierce or Killingsworth Hall. No, safety and security on our campus are very important. I was talking before about the big cities with millions of people, and then the small farms and ranches, very rural, out in the countryside. Well, we're right in the middle. We have a city of about 100,000 people, so it's large enough to have everything that you need, but a short drive to the big city. Our campus is actually located in one of the most beautiful parts of the city, very mature landscaping, nice historical brick buildings, and we actually have a police agency on our campus available 24 hours a day to make sure that you're safe. And we have a campus shuttle or a bus system that will pick you up, take you to the grocery store, take you shopping, go to the mall. It also goes by the different apartment complexes around town. So you can live off campus and still have a really easy drive in on the bus, and it's completely free as well, so you don't need a car. I just wanted to talk about tuition real quick and a couple of different options. So students who come to us through Bradford Global are automatically going to receive a 40% discount off of the published rate. So if you go to the MSU Texas Financial Office website, there's going to be a non-US resident tuition rate. It's pretty expensive. But students who come to us through Bradford Global, because of our partnership and our goal of increasing international student enrollment, you're going to receive a discount, a 40% discount. And you'll go, instead of the non-US resident rate, the most you'll pay is a tier 2 special rate, okay? So it's $13,500 per year. That's the most that you will pay in tuition and fees. But what I've been able to do, I've got a scholarship fund, and I've been giving $500 scholarships from the Global Education Office to all new undergraduate students for their first semester on campus. So instead of $13,500, it goes down to around $13,000.
Thank you for that provision to all of our students who are applying through Bradford Global. It's a wonderful offer for everybody. Thanks, Ed.
You're welcome. So, and then we have some estimates for living expenses. This is for food and housing, and it includes a meal plan and some money to go off campus and go out to eat, or want to do a little traveling. And then we have books and health insurance. So these are all estimates, and your own lifestyle choice will affect how much you spend. Some students come and spend much less than this, and some want to travel to New York and LA and all over, that's going to cost a little bit more. So anyway, the most that you would need to show in a bank account is around $24,000 US. That's how much you could expect to pay your first year here on campus. And you don't pay all of this to MSU Texas, and you don't have to pay it all at once. We have installment plans, but we need to see that you have, or a sponsor has this much money in a bank account. So some students will talk with friends or family members to ask them to sponsor their education here in the U.S., or they may go to a bank and take out a loan. So the other tuition rate is the in-state tuition rate. This is a special state of Texas program that rewards top performing international students with the in-state tuition rate. But in order to get this in-state tuition rate, you need to earn a $1,000 scholarship, a competitive scholarship. And I'll talk about how to earn a scholarship in a minute. But if you earn a $1,000 scholarship, you get the lowest possible tuition rate. This is we don't offer tuition rate lower than this, even to domestic students, to U.S. citizens. And it's $10,700 per year. And then you have the scholarships applied, so that reduces it, at least another $1,500 per year. And then for an undergraduate student, you would need to show around $20,000 US in a bank account. So a significant savings, but much greater savings when you compare to the typical non-US resident rate. So I want to talk about graduate students. So we have the same special tier 2 rate for graduate students coming to study computer science or geoscience or the MBA. Online, MSU Texas Financial Office website, you'll see a tuition rate of about $14,000. If you come through Bradford Global, you get the 40% discount. The most you would pay is $9,000 per year for tuition and fees. So $20,000 once you add in living expenses, books, miscellaneous expenses, health insurance, all of that. But again, if you earn a $1,000 scholarship, your estimated cost of attendance all in will drop down to around $17,500 US. Again, we're ranked as one of the most affordable MBA programs and just overall affordable tuition in the state of Texas. And so if you get a graduate assistantship position, $8,000, it's going to cover almost all of your tuition. And like Priya mentioned, she works in a job right now. She's not a graduate assistant. She's a student worker, but that can help, once you get here, that will help to pay for living expenses and some of your tuition. Okay, so scholarships for brand new freshman students, if you're coming out of high school, they're based on your SAT or ACT score. This score, the test is optional. You do not need to take the test to get admitted. You'll automatically receive the Tier 2 special rate because you're coming through Bradford Global. But if you take this test and score well, you can earn a scholarship of $500 all the way up to $2,500 per year. You'll need to score an 1160 or a 24 on the ACT to earn a $1,000 scholarship, which qualifies you for the special Tier 2, or special in-state tuition rate, the competitive waiver. We do accept transfer students, so if you're already in the U.S. and you want to come to MSU Texas, or you're currently completing an undergraduate degree in Nepal or somewhere outside of the U.S., you can transfer in and earn a scholarship and the in-state tuition rate if your GPA is a 3.0 or higher. We have scholars programs. We have additional departmental scholarships. So if you're studying in the Dillard College of Business, for example, you can earn additional scholarships. These are for new students, but then the departmental scholarships are for students who have completed a semester or a year and they've earned good grades. You can get additional scholarships. And graduate school scholarships are based on undergraduate GPA. So those are competitive, but if you have a GPA of 3.7 or 3.8 or higher on a 4.0 scale, you'll earn a scholarship and the in-state tuition. Okay, so how to apply? Undergraduates, go to applytexas.org. Postgraduate degrees, you can apply here at msutexas.edu. Click on this link. You'll go to the msutexas.edu webpage. You'll go to the graduate school page, and then there's an application for international students there. If you are applying to graduate school, you'll need to submit your transcript for a third-party credential evaluation. We'll reimburse you for those fees after you've been admitted. If you're coming directly from high school, we're working on a new method, a new way to where your school submits official transcripts directly to us, and we'll complete that evaluation internally. So you don't have to go through Spantran or West or one of these other companies. So if you are having to go through an evaluation, it does take a little bit more time, and I'll be happy to walk you through that process. The evaluation is very quick. It's the verification part that takes a little bit longer. And your school will need to send a transcript directly to Spantran through email or through mail, or you can mail one to us. We recommend just doing everything online, electronically, and it can happen very fast. But your school needs to be supportive of you and responsive to your request to quickly send a transcript.
Seth, I just want to ask you. Here's a question by Vinu Karmasari. So, she asks about the application process and how to submit that. If there is a way to waive that application fee off, and how to send the application materials like academic documents.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a little bit different for each person. Really, to submit academic documents and those to be counted as official so that you can be admitted, we really want to have those come directly from your school. We have an electronic file sharing software that I can share with you guys. And your school can upload your transcript, and then we receive it automatically. Or you can go through the third-party credential evaluation process. So again, if you're a graduate school student, you'll need to have your transcript evaluated, and then we can look at different options for verification. If you're coming as a freshman directly out of high school or secondary school, then we don't need to go through the third-party evaluation. You'll just have your school share your transcript directly with us. Yeah, and we can, normally we have different times throughout the year that we waive application fees. Because we are brand new, working within just the last few weeks with Bradford Global. We're going to offer to waive application fees for Bradford Global students coming in the spring. If you want to come for the fall, then we will waive those application fees probably sometime in February or January. Sometime early next year, we're going to do another promotional fee waiver event. But for now, spring applications we can waive. You'll just have to let myself or Puan know, please, and like we want to communicate so that we know all the students that have attended and that are coming through Bradford Global, so that we can, kind of account for those and make sure that you get the special tuition rate, get the application fee waiver, that sort of thing. I see a question about how many backlogs are acceptable. It's okay to retake a class once or twice, maybe. That if you got to take it, take a class 3 times or more, that can sometimes be a challenge. But if you've retaken it once or twice, it can still be okay, especially for the computer science program. We know those classes are very difficult. So it kind of depends on the whole application, but there's not a set amount that will automatically disqualify you.
Right. Yeah, that was the question by Rupa. Thanks for your questions here, and I hope you got the answer from our guest today, Mr. Said. Thanks, Ed, for highlighting. Yeah, I want to take another question here while you are about to show another slide. This was like previously asked. All right, so we have our student applying with this 3.28 GPA and 7 in IELTS. Second master's means you may have completed his master's in other discipline already. So in my own science, do we have something like that to offer?
Yeah. So we do have biology, and there are I believe some environmental science courses in biology, or geoscience as well. Either of those, I think, could be a really good fit. We actually have a study abroad program for our biology students, I believe, that goes down to the Caribbean and does some marine biology work. And I haven't been, unfortunately, but I would love to go and visit the site down there. But the pictures are amazing, and it's really hands-on. So, I mean, certainly your master's GPA is excellent. Your IELTS score is excellent. I don't think you would have a problem getting admitted. The challenge can sometimes be at the visa interview. And so depending on what your previous master's degree is in, you might want to pick a different program. Make sure it's different. You don't want to try and keep studying the same thing, because they'll say, why do you need to come to the US to study something that you've already studied? So maybe study something slightly different, or you can maybe change your degree, change your major once you get here. We've had students do that. That kind of helps to get through the visa application process. Maybe you say, well, if you've got a science background and you want to study business, you can study business and then maybe switch over to geoscience or to biology. So there's some different, tricks up our sleeve that we can try, different guidance, depending on your specific situation, your educational background. Some countries have higher visa approval rates than other countries. Students from South Asia have been getting approved for visas at a pretty high rate. So I think you would have a pretty good chance of getting approved. We just have to, kind of tailor your situation to, the conditions.
Right. Yeah. Thanks, Sunil. And you just explained zoology was your master's. I mean, you completed your master's in zoology. Of course, other programs say to explain to you MS biology. That could be, one more interesting field for you. So let us know. We'd be happy to continue your process with MSU Texas here. Thanks. And yeah, we understand your goals are. Well, definitely we'd be happy to guide through the process in regards to your application to MSU. and choosing the right programs. We'll talk to you, okay, as you're already applying through us. Thank you. And one quick question here. If you got any real estate degrees offered at MSc at the moment?
So what we have are a wide variety of business degrees, marketing, accounting, finance. All of those types of degrees would help you in a career in real estate. But to be a real estate agent or a realtor in the US, you don't become a realtor just by getting a bachelor's or a master's degree. You have to go through a special certification that's outside of a university setting. And so each state has their own exam and certification process. For example, my uncle is a real estate agent. He was in education for 40 years, was a teacher and a principal, and then retired from that, and then got his real estate license. And my wife years ago, she was a real estate agent. Now she's doing different things, but a lot of people do real estate, and it's a very good job to have. But I would say general business and marketing would probably be the best degrees to prepare you for a career in real estate. But you would have to go through an additional real estate certification course outside of our university.
Great. Colin, thanks, Sabam. Colin, thanks for your question. Yeah, of course, you go ahead with your questions, please. Yeah, and over to you, Seth, for additional slides here, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to I'll back up. I just want to show you all some pictures. So again, test scores such as SAT or ACT are not required for admission, only for scholarships for incoming freshman students. The GRE and GMAT is waived for most graduate school programs. But again, if your GPA is a little bit lower and you have a good GRE score, that can help to strengthen your application. So these are all the kind of things that you need to do to apply. You need to submit an application. You have to get an official transcript. It may need to be evaluated. We'll need your English proficiency scores. And then after we receive your application, our office will continue to follow up with you. We do information sessions over Zoom all the time with individual students, but also big groups of students. And so that we're giving you the most up-to-date guidance and information and giving you tips and tricks on how to complete your application, get your I-20, get your visa, and get here on campus to study. So we're here, we partner with our companies such as Bradford Global. Student, need that support. And so that's what we're here for. We're all about, educating the well-rounded student at a very good price. We want to see you on campus. Again, here's our website. Here's an email address if you'd like more information. msutexas.edu is our website. Email is globalscholars@msutexas.edu. Again, we have a lot of students from the Caribbean, from Africa, from all over South Asia. The Nepalese Student Association is the fastest growing, and that is the fastest growing single nationality of students on campus. But we're also going to see a lot of Indian, Bangladeshi, Pakistani, Sri Lankan students. I mean, the whole South Asia, everybody's coming, and it's really exciting to see the interest and just the talent of these students, the motivation, and then the job opportunities. It's crazy. So just, depending on what you want to do in your life, there is a pathway to a very successful life here in the U.S. Or if you want to go back home, that's fine. You want to stay here, I think you'll enjoy the experience. And then finally, just some pictures of our campus. We love American football, but we have a nice lake on campus with a walking path around. So, kind of very peaceful, and a recreation center. So a lot of things for students. We want, academics are very important, but so are, social activities and, kind of ways to relax and unwind, but connect with other students at times. And networking is very important in a university setting. It will help you, in your professional career later on.
Great. Thank you, Said. That was a wonderful presentation, and of course, we have like increasing number of students, with their questions there. That means they are growing interest at MSU Texas. All the programs are great, and the fee structure, the location of campus, the accreditation, and a lot more things to count on in regards to our students' interest at MSU Texas. I'm very thrilled. I'm thrilled to see all these things happening, and I look forward to helping more students to MSU Texas. Having their application in for this spring and next fall, right? So I have popped up the question here by Colin Newfanny. So she's I guess he is from management background and wondering about the scholarship. Of course, there are scholarship, like Said was explaining. Maybe you joined us just now. We have scholarship, 40% scholarship announcement for students who are applying through us, through Bradford Global at MSU Texas. So if you get a scholarship, then you will be like under tier 2, and that has like $13,500 tuition a year. But again, like $500 scholarship, the discount would be provided by state's office. So that comes down to $13,000 tuition a year. And if you again qualify for another 1,000, so that could go down to the in-state tuition structure. And for the masters as well, the similarly, the tuition would be reduced by 40% days, and that comes down to 9,000 something a year. So for most of the programs, and GRE webbed for this spring, and so there are a lot more things. So if you are for undergrad programs, yes, you could expect the tuition to be around 13,000 a year. So just have your application in, come visit us, or like just send us your documents, all your passport, academic documents from your +2 SLC, that's the 10th grade, and your test scores like Duolingo or IELTS, and then we'll start your application. And in the meantime, you'll be submitting your bank certificate, bank statement, showing the enough balance, enough cost of attend, at least the amount that covers the cost of attendance at MSU. So I would say, to be on the safe side, $30,000 equivalent. So that would be required to get an admission decision. And SET's office will be happy to process your application and guide you through all the steps. And yeah, we have like 2 months time before you start the class at MSU. But for the visa prospective, the interview challenges, scheduling, all this, so we'd encourage you to apply in time. So we have 1 week time to make application through, and then we will be happy to help you through this. All right. Thank you for your question. I think she's just take an exam. Okay. All right. Our office is located, you can see on the screen, at Omkar Building, level 7 and 8. New Baneଶ୍ୱर Chowk. Just like come to New Baneଶ୍ୱर Chowk, on the main road, you just look for the tallest building. So you would see our Bradford sign, and you could just call us, and also email is here. So we'd be happy to meet with, and then our counselors will be guiding through the process. All right. Thank you. And here, Sabam back again with his question: advertising, marketing, or marketing analytics. So can you share something about it, Said?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that the programs are described is just marketing, and then we have and that's at the undergraduate level in business, and then at the graduate level we have business analytics. So you're kind of combining a little bit with the marketing analytics, but you can get some marketing exposure at the undergraduate level and then move into business analytics at the graduate school level. So I think what's important to know in the US, we have very broad titles for academic programs. I think outside of the US and other parts of the world, people are very, very specific about what they expect and what they want to study. But when you study marketing, you're going to get business, advertising, communication, a little bit of finance, all of these different things, so that you have a broad uh, range of knowledge in the field of marketing. And then you can be flexible and go into many different kind of career paths after that. So yes, so advertising and marketing, yes, and then business analytics, yes. So I think generally we have what you want. And then what I think might be interesting is you can contact me or Pawan, but you can look at our course descriptions on our website for each of the programs, and you'll see there might be 40 different courses that are possible, and you will take 30 of those, and some of them you won't need, but some of them will be more interesting. And so once you're admitted, you talk with your academic advisor about what is really important to you, what interests you, and then you formulate a degree plan and then fill in the classes to get a degree in marketing or in business or in business analytics, whatever that may be. So there's a lot of choices that you get to make and decide what is going to be most appropriate for your academic and career path.
Thank you, Savam, and thank you, Said. Just want to pull up this question here. So, Kalan, if you have management background, you are good for choosing any program like business administration or majors like finance, marketing, accounting, business information system, many other business analytics. So those are the programs you should be looking at. So, but for now, you just may pick BBA, business administration. So coming to university, because it falls under the same business faculty at undergrad, maybe you should talk to Seth and his team to switch on to the next eligible program for you. But for now, yeah, you may, if you are confused, still you can apply. If you're confused about the majors to choose from, yeah, you could do this. But if you say you wanna go for IT field, yeah, you are welcome. You can apply. Like we had our student Priya who joined us in this session at the beginning. She was from business field, but she later switched to nursing field, and she's happy. So you could do that, but again, you need to talk to the international office at that's a state's office, and if you got some computer subjects that you have taken in your +2, that's a senior high school, you could be eligible from the very beginning. All right. Yeah, thank you. And one last question here from Sevan Rai. So, Seth, if you could just say something about in scholarship eligibility, does it matter whether you have GRE or GMAT or you don't have at all to get the scholarship?
That's a good question. The GRE right now is not used in consideration of scholarships. My understanding is that the graduate school program coordinators only look at undergraduate GPA for scholarship criteria. So it's great if you have a GRE score. That can help you to be admitted, but that is probably not going to help you with a scholarship. You really want an undergraduate GPA of 3.7, 3.8, or maybe even higher in order to get a scholarship. But it does depend on the program. Some programs are very competitive. Others you can have a slightly less GPA, slightly lower GPA, and still be considered for a scholarship.
That's right. Yeah, it all depends on the departments or the programs that you are choosing, and some may have even enough funds to provide you the maximum amount as scholarships. Some may not have, so you gotta start an application and get through that process. They will let you know. All right. So we have follow up here. SAT required for SAT or not? So it's not mandatory, Kalan. You can just apply with your academic plus English test score IELTS 6.0 or Duolingo 100 or PT 53. So those are the things you should consider for applying. So automatically they would be offering a scholarship because you are applying through Bradford, our agency. So 40% tuition scholarship. So you could be getting your tuition. I mean, I-20 with the tuition stated there, like somewhere, like something like $13,000 a year. And even you could do that less if you get more scholarship and come down to $10,000 a year. So, which is compared to many U.S. universities, is very, like a state university is very affordable. Almost half of the price that you would find in most cases. All right. Thanks for these questions here, guys. And yeah, say it like, if you have additional things to add on here and like advise our students, I'm very thrilled. I'm very excited, like, to have all these questions here, the participation, very like enthusiastic students here. I can't wait to have them, process with us and have them at the campus at MSU Texas. So if you could, just share something more about I mean, any advice would be appreciated here.
Yeah, I'll just say I think it's a really exciting time to be at MSU Texas because of the economy in Texas, the booming job market, the growth that we're seeing and all over the state. MSU Texas joining the Texas Tech University system, and then combine that with really our economy opening up, our social lives opening up again after such disruption from COVID. I think it's a really great time to come to the US and especially Texas. And if you want to do that in an affordable way, at a university that really cares about you and kind of that family type atmosphere with a lot of individual support, good international student organizations, and strong academic programs, I think you're going to find MSU Texas to be a great fit for you. And through our partnership with Bradford Global, I think it's going to make the process even easier. Now, again, spring is going to be a challenge. We can apply. You can go ahead and apply. I don't know that I can't guarantee, oh yeah, you'll get through easy because, we talked about the challenges with visa appointments, but we'll do our best to get you through. But we do have a lot of availability for fall of 2022. That will be right around the corner in August, and it will give us a little bit more time to get everything taken care of. So that's the main point that I wanted to share.
Great. Yeah, that was wonderful and great advice to our incoming students. Sevan, like, I'm answering your question here. There is no fee at all. You just like, send us through all the application and you don't need to pay because SET is offering anyone who is watching this or let's say participating today with us. So there is no application fee because there is some waiver available if you are applying through Bradford. And yes, Bradford will be happy to help you through all this process. All right. So thanks, Sevan, and thanks everybody who watched us live today and on this recorded version as well. And Said, I can't thank you enough, like, for saying all this great information. And I'm sure, like, with the participation of the students and the type of questions and all, you could imagine, like, how exciting MSU Texas is, becoming to our future students from Nepal and from South Asia. And we look forward to us helping them out to get to the university in this spring and beyond.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everyone out there, all the students, for your interest and your time. It was really nice meeting you all and talking about our university. And we really hope that we can welcome you to our campus soon.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time today. And I feel great about, like, sharing this great information about MSU Texas. Bradford Global is a proud partner for MSU Texas, and Seth, Michael, and their team are great to help our students. And yes, like, if you're still thinking about, like, applying for this January intake this spring, yes, this is the time. And we have very less time to start your process. I mean, to apply for this spring, this January. So please come visit us, or like at least give us a call, or like you can send your documents via email that I am showing on the screen. So that way, it will be a lot easier for you guys. And yes, this time around, like many U.S. universities are accepting Duolingo test, which has been comparatively easier than other tests like TOEFL or IELTS, and MSU does accept that. Even for masters, 100 score in 100 score in Duolingo is acceptable. So it's a great opportunity. And also, like, they are now sending their I-20s by email as well. That means, you're saving time and money. If you had to, like, request it via FedEx or DSL, then that would add up your cost while processing. So this is advantage at the moment. So yeah, don't look further. If you are ready, please apply through Bradford. I myself, here in California, together with my team in Nepal, would be happy to welcome you in our office and start your process for you. We at Bradford would just not, like, help you with the I-20s, rather, like, give you the best options on the table, like, which other universities you could be planning for, based on your study plans and your academic background. Will be picking the right university, right program for you. But I would say personally, I love Texas. I love MSU Texas for its great programs, all the opportunities, the scholarship, the fee structures, the location, the recognition, everything, like, you can name it. So I feel proud of having this partnership with you, Sate, and Michael, and the whole the team at Bradford would feel more appreciated. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Take care, Sate.
Bye. Take care. Bye-bye.
And safe travels to Europe, Germany. I think you're flying out this Friday or Saturday, I guess.
Yes, heading out Saturday, so
Right.
it'll be busy. But yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. Okay. I'll just talk to you in the like upstairs, just right after this. And all right. Thank you, guys. And it's a pleasure to have you all here today. And I hope to be back with next university sometime this week or next week. All right. Yeah. Please visit us, or at least make an inquiry regarding your study plans in the US. And this is the right time for you. All right. This is me, Pawan Bister, Bradford, the managing director at Bradford Global here in California. And our team in Nepal would be happy to wish you good luck and get you through the process if you are coming to start with us. And yeah, stay safe. And till then, bye.